Green Bay knocks down Mahomes' pass in the end zone as the final play goes away, and the Packers improve to 6-6, and they jump into the playoffs as the number 7 seed. The Chiefs drop to 8-4. So let us discuss the better story in the losing locker room. So that is where we will begin. And the question, as we discussed, the question on this: who gets to wear the blame barbecue rib necklace for the Chiefs? Who gets to wear the blame barbecue rib necklace? So I've got Fizzled, Sopranos, and Fire-Breathing Dragon. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to make a lot of sweat. For some reason, we have a TV on here, and they're showing Emmitt Smith, and he's covered in sweat. It's like, I don't know, he's I think a towel or something like that. All right, so number one. Yeah, all right, so we start assigning the barbecue rib necklace of blame, and we start defensively with defensive tackle Chris Jones. Keeping up with the Joneses. He is the face of the Kansas City defense, a defense that has been a top 5 unit this season in the NFL, but not on this night. The Chiefs' defense, and led by Chris Jones, Defensive Player of the Year candidate, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Jones had two quarterback hits, but other than that, bupkis. Nothing else. Not a tackle, nothing else, not an assisted tackle. The Kansas City defense, with Chris Jones as the headliner at Lambeau Field, allowed a season-high 27 points in this game. Jordan Love was able to matriculate the ball down the field and impede the KC defense regularly here, and the Chiefs did not force a single turnover, not one, and they allowed the Packers to score in the red zone 75% of the time there in the red zone. And while the Chiefs defense gets to wear the blame barbecue rib necklace, we can also save some for Patrick Mahomes, who played down the stretch. How do you play in crunch time? Well, Patrick Mahomes, down the stretch at Lambeau Field, played like soda that had been left out. The fizzle was gone. The carbonation was gone there. The flat soda. That's the way he played down the stretch. He attempted 15 passes in the fourth quarter, Mahomes, only converting 5 of the 15. I didn't play in the NFL, but that's not good, I'm told. And obviously no touchdowns, the 1 interception, a passer rating of below 37 in the fourth quarter of this particular game. Kansas City scoring just 19 points in this game. You expect more from the Chiefs offense. There's a certain standard there, and they did not deliver on that particular standard. Now, page 2, as we continue with the analysis. And how much damage does this particular loss, how much damage does this loss to Green Bay by the Chiefs, how much damage does this game do for Andy Reid and the Chiefs? I'm glad you asked. So this is a Sopranos situation. If they had visions of being the number 1 seed in the AFC, this is a Sopranos special. Forget about it. Yes, forget about it. Because Kansas City, they had a shot to even the books. Baltimore was in Cancun, or either that or playing tennis in Florida somewhere. But the Ravens did not play this weekend. The Ravens, the top dog or the top bird, the Poets at the very top of the AFC standings. And so the opportunity was there for Kansas City and for Jacksonville, who plays on Monday night, and also the Dolphins, to win and square the books up in the win-loss column with the Ravens. Obviously, Miami does not do that. The Dolphins did, so the Dolphins are ahead of Kansas City in that regard. Obviously, they have the head-to-head in favor of the Chiefs from that matchup in Germany back in the day. But Kansas City had an opportunity. And so right now, in this moment, we only do the show in the moment. We do the show today. We don't do the show tomorrow. We'll do tomorrow's show tomorrow and the day after the day after. So today's show, Kansas City drops to the number 4 seed in the AFC, pending the outcome of the Jacksonville game with the Bengals in Monday Night Football. Patrick Mahomes and friends, Mahomie and friends, they have a date with, here we go, Buffalo, the Buffalo Bills. Will roam in to Arrowhead where the Buffalo roam. And after that, Kansas City, it's Cupcake City. It's the hostess schedule after that game next week. Now, final point. Does this particular game, a victory from soup to nuts for the Green Bay Packers, does this game count as Jordan Love's coming out party? Does it count as that? So I'm going to be Benny Brightside on this. I'm going to nod my head yes. This is a big-time performance. That was at home. It would have been more meaningful if it had been on the road, but this is a big-time deal. So I will concede, much against my DNA as a talk show host, but I must concede that the answer is yes. Jordan Love played well for the vast majority. He actually didn't play that well in the fourth quarter, but for the vast majority of the game, he did play well. But Green Bay had a big enough lead. The defense took care of business there. But this game, you know what it's like? You got an autograph of George Brett in 1987, and it's been sitting around, and you sent it to get authenticated. And then they sent it back, and they said, okay, that's legit. Now it's legit. And so, yeah, Kansas City had been a top 5 defense all year, and so this is confirmation. Jordan Love consistently played well in this game, and I will be Benny Brightside as Jordan Love went out there and was able to slay the fire-breathing dragon. And the Packers have a path now to the postseason. They leapfrogged my L.A. Rams, who briefly, after they stopped Joe Flacco, elite quarterback Joe Flacco and the Cleveland Browns, the Rams were the number 7 seed, but then the Packers played, and they won. And so now, at the moment, Green Bay has snatched the number 7 seed, last team in the NFC playoffs, from the LA Rams for the moment. That tiebreaker was triggered because the Rams started Brett Rippon, who cannot play quarterback, but was in the NFL because his uncle was a good quarterback back in the day for the Washington Redskins. So Brett Rippon started at Lambeau Field and rode the vomit comet up and down the field, so much so the Rams fired him after the game and said, anybody is better than you. And they literally said anybody. They hired Carson Wentz, who also sucks. But they said, you can't suck as much as that other guy. So we'd rather have this level of suck, which is a lower level of suck, than the Rippon suck, which is a higher plane of suckage. Understand? All right, so the tiebreaker was triggered because of that. Now, the Packers, they also play Cupcake City, mixed with apple pie, and they've got the ding-dongs and all that. The rest of the way, the Packers play, who do they play? They play the Giants in Jersey next week. So Tommy Cutlets and the Giants in the Week 13, that's a letdown game. So that's a dangerous game because you're coming off a primetime island game victory over the Green Bay Packer nemesis there, Kansas City. So if you win that game, now you go play again against the Giants. Nobody's going to get up to play Tommy DeVito and the Giants. And after that, they play the Buccaneers. That's at Lambeau Field. I'm sure that will go well for the Buccaneers, going from Florida to Green Bay in December. What could possibly go wrong there? Then after that, at Carolina against a team that can't win. Even if they're trying to win, they don't know how to win. And then at Minnesota, and they play the Bears. So that's a very manageable schedule for the team from Wisconsin.